Video adaptation movies rarely hit the mark. They generally come up lacking. But this movie here, Five Nights at Freddy's, is this a movie that is an exception to that rule? Or is 2 hours far too much amount of time to spend at Freddy's? Let's find out. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel and welcome to my review for Five Nights at Freddy's. Yes, this Universal distributed Blumhouse movie that premiered on Peacock. I watched it. I thought I'd see what all the fuss was about because everyone else seems to be watching it. So yeah, I thought I'd get in there. Now this is a horror mystery thriller movie with a 15 rating, a runtime of 1 hour and 49 minutes. It's based on the game Five Nights at Freddy's, which has spawned multiple games, apparently. Now, I'm coming at this as a movie. I'm not a fan of gaming. In fact, I can honestly say, hands up, I have never ever played a single Five Nights at Freddy's game. Even if you came to me and mentioned it, I wouldn't have even known it was a game. That is how ignorant I am to this franchise. So this film here comes at us directed by Emma Tam, and it is written by Scott Cawthon, Seth Cuddeback and Emma Tam herself. Now, Scott Cawthon, who is one of the writers on this film, he's actually the developer, the creator of the game. So that's good. That's good that he's got his involvement in the film. But is the film any good? So the film stars Josh Hutcherson as Mike Schmidt. Now, Josh Hutcherson, you will know from the Hunger Games, among other things. He's in this film with his underdeveloped face growth as well. Piper Rubro plays Abby, his younger sister. Elizabeth Lale as Vanessa, who's a police officer in the film. And Matthew Lillard as Steve Raglan. So as the film starts, we are introduced to a scenario where we've got an existing night security guard at this place called Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Freddy Fazbear Pizza. If there's a mouthful there. And we see him get killed and this sort of thing. Then we're introduced to the character of Mike, Josh Hutcherson's character. And he's a security guard. He can't hold down a job. We see him believe that this young kid is being abducted, and he goes and tackles the person he believes is abducting the child, but it turns out to be the child's father, so thusly he loses his job. And he goes and sees his career counsellor, who finds him a new job, offers him a new job, nighttime work at this place called Freddy's, a closed down pizza place where there's these large animatronic animals looking things, teddy looking animal type things that they kill people essentially. He takes the job. Now there's a bit of a backstory in that he's looking after his younger sister. He's in care of her. At the same time, there is an aunt who's involved who wants to get the care of the child taken away from him, and she wants to take the child. As a younger child, Josh himself, or Mike, the character Mike, he lost his younger son that was taken away, and he's having these dreams about it. These dreams that when he goes and falls asleep at this place, this Freddy Fazbear's Pizza place, the dreams are somewhat heightened and all this sort of thing. And we get this elaborate story where his babysitter is put in to care for the child as undercover from the aunt to try and dig out some dirt on him to make him look like an unfit parent. She's involved with her boyfriend. Her boyfriend breaks into the place. Him and his gang get killed by the animatronic bear things, and we have this really shockingly poor script where it turns out that these animatronic bears are actually being controlled by the spirits of these children that have been dead, that have been killed, that it turns out have been killed by the the father of the sheriff, who's the geezer who created the place and run the place. My God, it is so convoluted. The script here is so convoluted, it is unreal. Now, we don't get too much time spent in the proximity of the animatronic creatures that do the killings. In fact, they're a rather sympathetic group of creatures in the sense that they're these children that have been killed that are inhabiting the bodies, and they're only doing it because they're being sort of controlled into doing it by the father, who's actually the geezer that killed them, but they don't know that they killed him. This is how the story goes. It's just so over the place. There's so much going on for a film like this. Now, inevitably, you're going to get this film's going to be compared to Willy's Wonderland, the Nicolas Cage film, which is very much of the same ilk. But that film there is far more simplistic in what it does. Yes, and I know that this is based on a computer game, and I don't know the lore and the backstory to the computer game, but all I know is that as a comparison, this is very much like Willy's Wonderland, which has got the star power of Nick Cage, who can at least grow facial hair if need be. So yeah, so you got that comparison there. Okay, so let's get that out in the open. Like I said, the Nicolas Cage one is a far simpler movie in terms of what it does, and in doing so it's far more fun. It's got better pacing than this film. It's not so convoluted and messed up in its story that it's trying to tell. But it might be because of that film that this film felt that it needed to do far more different than that film did. But on face value, really, it should be very similar in terms. Matthew Lillard, obviously from Scooby-Doo fame. There's a twist in his character. What goes on, but really the film needs to rest on the shoulders of Josh Hutcherson, and he's not very good at all. The young girl Piper Rubro, who played Abby, she was okay, she was good enough in the film, but like I said, it's just bogged down by this complex story of nonsense, really, of dreams and ghosts, and Mike, the character Mike, trying to find out about his missing brother and all this sort of stuff. Yeah, it's a mess of a movie. I will say that it was nice that there was no real reliance, or overly heavily reliance on CGI, that the creatures were all in camera, the animatronic creatures, that they were created by Stan Winston's workshop, I believe. So it was nice to have that sort of step back to an older kind of special effect. Whereas it's very easy for these companies to step into the realm of CGI. They just find it very easy. So it was nice to see practical things there. But ultimately, yeah, the film's just hour and 49 minutes drags for this movie. It really does. And it has nothing real to offer. It's not a good film at all. It was, you know, certainly not a film that I'd want to watch again. And it's one of those films, like I said, where if someone mentions it to me, I'll be saying to them, I fancy watching Willy's Wonderland with Nicolas Cage. That's the only good thing I say about this film. Makes me want to go and revisit that. There we go. So tell me your thoughts about this film if you've seen it. Did you like it? Didn't you like it?